So good afternoon. I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm delighted to welcome the class of 2021, along with all of their families and friends, to our Department of Political Science graduation celebration. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
My name is Lauren McLean, and I serve as the department chair for the Department of Political Science here at IU. You know, last year in April of 2020, we had to pivot from our normal graduation event, originally planned to be in person in Woodburn Hall, and change everything at the very last minute. So we put together a really nice video celebration for the class of 2020. You can check it out on our YouTube channel. We weren't able to do a live event in 2020 with so little time to get it organized. To be honest, at that point, we barely knew what we were doing with Zoom and Kaltura and all the rest of the virtual technologies. But now look at us. We're total experts at Zoom. We know how to show our emotional reactions with thumbs up and clapping hands. We know how to hide our self-view. We know how to make private jokes in the chat. And it's not just us at the universities that have upped our virtual game. Even our parents and grandparents and extended families are now hopping on Zoom to participate with us in these events. So we're very excited to be together today, synchronously on Zoom, for this celebration of the class of 2021. Of course, we would have loved and preferred to have welcomed you in person at Woodburn Hall. All of the faculty and staff look forward to graduation day as the most special day of the year. We also know that this year has been really tough for everyone, especially for you seniors that are graduating today. You didn't have the year you expected, but we're determined to celebrate what terrific students you are and the tremendous accomplishment that you have achieved by earning your college degree in political science at IU. Before we begin, I'd like to thank a few important folks who are here with us on Zoom and working behind the scenes. So first, I'd like to thank all of our fabulous faculty members who have joined us today. The faculties are the ones who have worked hard to expose you to new ideas and get you to think for yourself. I'd also like to thank our amazing staff for helping to organize this Zoom graduation celebration. In particular, Jess Coulter took the lead on this event, but also Jan Peterson, Jessica Williams, Chris McCann, Jackie Gentry, Rick Watson, and our two fantastic advisors, Jean Myers and Frank Ryder. We may not be able to serve you lunch as we normally do in Woodburn Hall, but we can still brag about you to your parents and family members and friends. So I want to kick off our celebration for the class of 2021 with a few highlights. To begin, this class of students has true grit and resilience. You were sent home in March 2020 and didn't know if and when you would come back to our beautiful campus in Bloomington. When we returned to campus in August, you had to adjust to many new protocols, but you did so with grace and a positive attitude. You wear masks in the IMU or in your hybrid classes. You dutifully show up for mitigation testing to fill up your plastic tubes. You've navigated new technology, new expectations, and you've come out strong. You even got through this semester without a spring break, and now you're graduating with a degree in political science in an economy that looks poised to take off. And yet these students are not just good at adapting to new challenges, they're also smart. They don't just study for the test, they read critically and they ask the tough questions. Your families may be asking themselves, but what can they do with a degree in political science? But you know that there are many, many great options out there. We have really successful alumni that have graduated in political science before you and want to help and have gone on to become journalists, leaders of nonprofits, entrepreneurs, lawyers, judges, teachers, professors, consultants, and even politicians. I'm confident that this group of students will use their knowledge of politics and social science to understand the big problems in the world and develop new solutions. And boy, do we need you. There is no better time to study politics. In the US and around the world, we're witnessing major challenges to democracy. We are very lucky to have this group of smart, hardworking, and flexible graduates ready to hit the ground running with some new ideas. So congratulations to the class of 2021. And congratulations and many thanks to all of the families and friends and supporters of the class of 21. They couldn't have done it without you. These milestones are kind of emotional for us moms and dads and siblings and family members. We can't help but think of the younger years, but it's important to remember your families have done a lot more than just helped pay the bills while you were at IU. They've answered questions, talked through problems, given advice, and dreamed with you about the future. So I'd like to take a moment now and give a round of applause and gratitude for all of the family members and loved ones who have supported our graduates over the years. So thanks to everyone for being here. And without further ado, I will turn it over to Professor Bill Shorman, who will recognize our graduating PhD students.
Yes, so thank you for being here. Congratulations, of course, to all the graduates. Congratulations also to the families and to, yes, also your friends. So most of today's ceremony is about celebrating the undergraduates. But as many of you know, the Department of Political Science also has a PhD program. In fact, we have one of the strongest PhD programs in the United States. Our graduate students are deeply involved in everything we do in the department. They work with and assist faculty members on joint research projects. They conduct their own research, much of which ends up in top journals or ends up getting published by major publishers. They typically go on to successful careers in academia, but as you'll see in just a moment, some of them also end up in important positions in government, within NGOs, and of course also in the private sector. Most importantly, I would say from the perspective of most of you participating in today's celebration, they have worked closely and conscientiously with our undergraduates. They have been crucial to your education. You know that, I'm just reminding you of that. They grade papers and exams, they hold office hours, they sometimes teach sections of those big classes you took perhaps as a freshman or sophomore. And yes, sometimes they teach their own classes, and you've taken some of those classes. And I know that many of our undergraduates are very, very grateful to our PhD students for all of their wonderful work on your behalf. So today, we also want to honor those PhD students who've successfully completed their degree requirements over the course of the last year, since last June, basically. I'm just going to read their names, and if they ask me to do so, I'll say a little bit about them. I see that there are a couple of you participating here today. It's great to see you again. So here's the first one, Dr. Stephen Carpenter. His advisor was Professor Lauren McLean. Stephen is now teaching as an assistant professor, at the Florida Gulf Coast University. Dr. Colin Fisk, his advisor was Bernard Fraga. I know that many of our undergraduates took courses with Bernard. Colin will be moving shortly to Madison, Wisconsin. He will be working for Epic Systems and working on developing and assessing medical records. Dr. Anthony, or as many of us know him, Dr. Tony. I always mispronounce Tony's last name. I've been doing it for years and I'll continue to do it. I'm gonna mess it up. I don't know if you hear it, Tony. I think it's DiMattei. His advisor was one of our affiliated faculty members in the Public Policy School, Jennifer Brass. Tony has a 2-year National Science Foundation funded postdoc at Emory University in Atlanta. Dr. Catherine Johnson, her advisor was also Lauren McLean. I think Catherine was hooded yesterday. Is that right, Lauren? Yes. Catherine is now an assistant professor at the University of Louisville. She's teaching comparative politics, and I'm guessing some of you had her courses. I think it was gender politics and also African politics she taught for us. Dr. Chris Miller, his advisor was Dan Cole at the Ostrom Center at the law school. Chris is now an assistant professor at the University of Richmond. Dr. Luke Shimmick, Regina Smith was Luke's mentor. Luke is a financial statistician at Xenex Max Media. He's also an adjunct professor at George Mason University. And last but not least, and I just saw Keith, I know you're here, Keith, Dr. Thomas Keith Wilson. He worked with Emeritus Faculty Member Bill Thompson doing work in international relations. Lieutenant Colonel Wilson is serving in the Air Force on the, this is a big deal, folks, so listen carefully, on the Joint Task Force for Space Defense. He's the Deputy Director of Intelligence, and Keith tells us he's hoping next year, nonetheless, to be teaching at the Air Force Academy. So congratulations to all of our PhDs. Thanks, it's been an honor. I'm the outgoing DGS. It's been wonderful to be able to work with you. Thank you very, very much. And now I'd like to hand over the virtual baton. There's a new cliche for us. Hopefully we won't have to use it much longer. Hopefully COVID's coming to an end. But the virtual baton is getting handed over to our undergraduate commencement speakers. We're all looking forward to what you folks have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Shorman. So we have two undergraduate speakers who were nominated overwhelmingly by their faculty. It was difficult because we have so many terrific students, but we have two speakers. The first who will give us a few words is Lauren David.
Thank you so much, Dr. McLean. What an honor it is to be here and to be introduced by the professor that taught my very first political science class at IU. So I'd like to extend my heartfelt congratulations to my friends, the graduates, all of our loved ones and family, and extend a true thanks to all of the professors that have come to join and celebrate with us today. So if you're anything like me, when you tell people that this is what you want to pursue your degree in, you get a lot of funny looks. People ask you why. People say, oh, that must be fun. A lot of people ask, well, what can you do with that degree? And my answer varied from person to person over the years. But upon further reflection of what this degree really means to me and what it really means to our world, I think I've come up with an answer. So as Dr. McLean mentioned earlier on, the world needs us now more than ever. And it's unfortunate that at the time where we are getting the recognition that we have deserved for several years, it has to come at such a cost of necessity. But at the same time, I see it as a challenge. And so when I think about the students that I have met throughout my past 4 years within the political science department, this is what I think of, and this is who I see. Students who want to study the social sciences are students who have a vested interest in the future. They are students who want to know more about the messy, the complex, the difficult to talk about, to study it, to know it intimately, and to come up with solutions for the future. There is an innovation and a drive in every single one of the graduates today that the world sometimes overlooks, but desperately needs. And so because of that, as long as I would like to, as well as issuing a heartfelt congratulations and a well done to all of us who have finished this year, I also want to issue a challenge. I ask that we rise to all of the snide remarks, to all of the jokes, and we prove them wrong. That we show the world how much they need us, how they would be lost without us, frankly. And that we prove that we are valuable beyond when we are necessary. That we are valuable to this world and to the societies that we will help to be better now and always. So once again, I'd like to extend my heartfelt congratulations and thanks to everyone who has helped us get to this place. And congratulations to the class of 2021. May these next years be the best years yet.
Thank you so much, Lauren. That was excellent. We all are really excited to see how you all will rise to that challenge that Lauren put out there. So we really appreciate it. So our second student speaker to join us will be Mahira Sadiq. There she is. And, you're still on mute.
I'm still on mute. I've done this in every single Zoom meeting for the past year. It's ridiculous. It's nice to meet you all again. And I've been doing this for every Zoom meeting as well. Hello, my name is Mahira. It's nice to see you. So I'm going to do it one last time right now. These past few years have been a lot like rock climbing for me. which I've actually never done because I'm afraid of heights, but I imagine it's pretty comparable. You know, when you start out at the beginning, it's really nice because there's a lot of footholds, there's a lot of places to grab on. But as you keep getting higher and higher and higher, those footholds, those grips, they get fewer and farther in between, and it gets a little bit more difficult. And sometimes you get scared. You don't really know what to do. But if you take a deep breath, you stay calm, you can see that foothold, you can see that nook and cranny, you can grab on, and together we all made it to the top. So I thought a lot about what to say today, and as some of you know, especially Professor Barber, I am a chronic overthinker, but I finally figured it out. I'm gonna do a classic. I'm gonna leave you with the lessons that I think that I learned over my very short, very rapid years at IU. So let's start at the beginning. Lesson 1. The first lesson answers this question. What does it mean to change the world? What does that mean? Well, in order to understand what it means to change the world, we have to know what the world is. What is the world, right? What does that mean? And I think that we often forget that each person is a world. We're all our own worlds, right? Each person is their own social network connected to hundreds of other social networks. And you know how they say, like, you know everyone by 7 degrees? It's exactly like that. Each individual is the whole world. So when we talk about changing the world, the goal isn't to help every single one of those 7 billion people. The goal isn't for those 7 billion people to know your name. The goal is to help one person. And if you've done that, you've changed the world. But we all study political science for a reason. We all want to change more than one world, right? So how do we make this on a global scale? How do we make this broader? That's my second lesson that I learned. How can this change be accomplished? How do you make this change happen? This is how I like to look at it. So you know how they say you can give a man a fish, but then you can feed him for a day. If you teach him to fish, well then he can fish for a lifetime, he has food forever. The thing that we don't realize is that if we teach that man to fish, well now he can teach everybody else to fish too, right? I can teach 10 people to fish. Maybe I can teach 1,000 people to fish, but there's so many people that I can teach to fish, right? I can't keep doing that over and over and over. So if I teach 10 people to fish, they each can teach 10 more and 10 more and 10 more and 10 more. And I learned that change is exponential. It's an exponential system that keeps growing and growing. And if you can spread that good and that positivity, it'll keep going beyond your reach, and then you will have changed the world. Change isn't about helping every single person that you meet, because that's impossible. You cannot do it. But you can help one person, you can help 10, you can help 1,000. The people that you're helping are not static recipients of aid. They don't just stand there and take that money and take that help. They become social changers in their own right once they are empowered to do so. That's the goal. The goal isn't to be a savior. The goal isn't even necessarily to help. The goal is to empower, give people the skills they need to survive, and they're going to help everybody else around them. And then you'll have created an exponential system that changes the world. My third lesson that I learned was the most important to me, and it was the hardest to swallow. Professor Barber also knows this. You can't do everything. This one was really hard for me. You cannot do everything. So during the course of my degree, I thought a lot about duty. What is our human duty? What is our human obligation to other people? What are we required to do? How much is enough, right? And I think that I learned that our duty is to try. That's it. We just have to try. We're required to try, and that's the extent of it. There's only so much we can do, whether it's just us or we're working with a whole network of change makers. One person can't single-handedly fight systemic racism, alleviate poverty, enable healthcare reform, and advocate for environmental protections. That doesn't work. We've seen Congress, right? You can't do it all. So I think that your duty, your human duty, is to pick one thing. Pick 2 things, maybe 3 things. Pick what you really, really care about and try to fix it. You won't always succeed. You're going to fail. You're going to trip and fall into a ditch. True story. I've actually done this before. It's not fun, but your human duty, your human obligation is to pick yourselves up, learn from your mistakes, reevaluate your method, and then try again and again and again. Our duty, at least my duty as a human being, is to try really, really hard to build those exponential networks for change. And if we can build those networks, if we can build that exponential change, we will have built a solid foundation for changing worlds for a very, very long time to come.
Thank you so much, Mahira. I loved hearing your inspiring words, your positivity, your sense of humor was fabulous. We really valued hearing about the lessons and taking those lessons. I now want to turn it over to our Director of Undergraduate Studies, Professor Aurelian Karatu. There he is.
Thank you, everyone. It's a great pleasure and honor for me as Director of Undergraduate Studies in the Department of Political Science to address you on this wonderful and unique occasion and salute all of our 2021 graduate class and their families. During the 4 years that you spend with us, you have been asked to do many things, complete quite a lot of assignments, and take many exams, some pleasant, some less so. So I guess you all are entitled to ask yourselves at the end of this, what was the purpose of your journey and what have you gained by completing all these tasks? We're grateful for your honor and for your trust in us, but I think you are entitled to ask at the end, was it worth your money and time apart from the final degree that you are about to earn now? In some classes that you took in our department, you may have never come up with clear-cut answers to important questions that we deal with and we strive to answer, such as what is democracy? Why should we care about democracy? And what can we do to improve the functioning of our democratic institutions? What is the fate of our republic and what is the fate of freedom and equality in an ever-changing world? But I think that you have not joined us in order to passively receive answers from us because, frankly, my colleagues and I, we have very few answers to give to these questions, but we can at least suggest some ways of addressing these challenges. I think that you have taken our classes to exert your minds, and we hope that you've been challenged along the way. Above all, I hope that you did not take our classes merely to get grades, but you came ready and eager to enter into a conversation with your teachers, with your colleagues, and above all, with the authors, many of them, that you got to read in our classes. And this conversation touched on many important topics, as I've already mentioned, but at the end of your years, one in particular stands out, and that is, what is liberal education? Because we are a department in the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. As we have all learned during this past year, a long year for all of us, this can hardly be done online. Lecturing and reading and writing and meeting in person remain essential parts of liberal education. A good lecture and also a good book are supposed to promote learning by keeping students' minds active and teaching new ideas. Good lectures, good lecturers are not recitations or declamations of ready-made knowledge. And good books teach students how to debate, that is, how to craft an argument, how to present one's thoughts, how to dissect an opponent's ideas and engage with those ideas, how to say a lot in a few words. Finally, good professors teach students the art of listening and taking notes and help students clear their minds by concentrating on what is really important. So during this past 4 years, your teachers invited you to enter into a conversation with the great minds of mankind and with the great contemporary minds from the past and the present. We all did so being convinced that by reading their works, engaging with their ideas, we might help you start the journey towards yourselves. Become what you already are, Martin Luther said 5 centuries ago. Do not go far, seek within thyself, wrote St. Augustine many centuries ago. And Socrates, the wise Athenian philosopher who never wrote anything, knew it well before both Luther and St. Augustine. Know thyself was the advice that he gave to all of those who care to listen to him. And I think there is no better way of ending my brief remarks and my call to you than by inviting you to listen to these great minds and reflect on their words. Our role as teachers ends here, and your role begins now. Be open, be curious, be hungry, and remain thirsty. Do not satisfy yourself with the intellectual junk food that is all around us. Be realists, demand the impossible. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you so much, Professor Karatu. just a reminder for all of us that we are on a lifelong journey. So we're really excited about you getting your degree, but you can't give up now. You have to keep going. Now, for what you've all been waiting for, you're not as interested in hearing us talk. I think that you would like to have some celebration of the individual students, and the department level is where we are able to recognize each of our undergraduate students by name and give a little bit of information about those students and celebrate each of those. We have several faculty who will be reading. So normally you would be walking down the biggest lecture hall in Woodburn Hall and shaking hands with several of us and getting a photo of Woodburn Hall while your extended family was taking pictures. So right now we have this Zoom celebration where we're going to still be sharing some information about each of you, so you can imagine doing sort of imaginary procession as we read these names and celebrate each of these students. So first, I'm going to pass the baton to Professor Christine Barber. She has been our founding director of the DC internship program, which is where many of our students know Professor Barber.
Thanks, Lauren. It's so good to see you all here. And before I begin with my list of names, I just want to say to Lauren and to Mahira, well done, you guys. Those were just wonderful remarks. You're inspirational. I don't think you're being overlooked, Lauren. I don't think you're being taken for granted. But I'm so excited to see what you guys make of the world that you're taking on here. So the first person on my name is Hannah Alexis. I don't have any other information here for Hannah. Second is Gerardo Alvarez Guzman, who has a law and public policy and Spanish major, and he is headed to the Mars School of Law for law school in the fall. Jacob Appleby and Andrew Ardizone and Megan Rianne Ben, who has a BA in political science and a BA in criminal justice and hopes to attend law school. Jelly Bosovic, Max Bratka, JP Brenner, who is a geography minor and is going to do Teach for America in Phoenix, and who was one of our interns who did not get to DC because of COVID. And JP, I hope that you get to DC one of these days, and I hope we're there to toast you and take you out when you get there. Matthew Bricker has minors in world political systems and law and public policy and is starting the MPA program at the O'Neill School in the fall. And Charles Burge, Ana Sofia Caballero, who has a PACE certificate in civic engagement and is going to work on an MPA in administration. Morgan Carter, who has an honors notation and is going to work for Congressman Swalwell in DC. And boy, Morgan, I'd like to hear more about that if you have the chance to get in touch with me. And Nick Salona.
Thank you, Professor Barber, for reading those names. I'm going to introduce next Professor Jerry Wright. He's an expert in American politics. I want to just acknowledge that we asked all of the students to send us information about their majors and minors and sort of what they're doing next, or and some of them have and some of them haven't. So when you hear more details, those are the students who have sent something in, but we want to make sure that we recognize everyone. So Professor Wright.
I want to add my personal welcome to the class of 2021, and it's my pleasure to read off the names of some of our graduates. The first is Sarah Chavez. Another is Tasfia Chaudhry, and Louis Chobe, who has a minor in international studies, and he hopes to work in politics for a few years and then get his JD with focus on human and civil rights. Adam Kopp has a major in economics and a minor in history with a certificate in journalism. He's been busy. He will be attending SPIA for graduate school to get a PhD in public policy. Ian Cunningham is also one of our graduates. He can give us more information. And then, as we've seen, Lauren David, she has completed in one of our new programs, the Indiana Political Analysis Workshop. Also has a BA in English with a concentration in public and professional writing. And she will be pursuing a doctorate degree at MIT, which is one of the very top programs in the country. Congratulations to her. Cameron DeWitt has a history minor. He will be attending Southern Illinois in this fall to pursue, I think it's an MA, if I remember right, master's degree in public administration, and he hopes to have a career in government or human resources. Joe Doran is also a graduate, as is Charles E. Irwin, who has either a major or a minor, I'm not sure, in biochemistry as well. Sugar Fain has a major in political science and a major in art history. Charles Stettleman has besides his major in a joint major in political science and economics and a minor in marketing, and he's planning to apply to a law school for the 2022 admissions. Alyssa Fertig, Alyssa will be attending graduate school at the Art Institute of Chicago. You can do a lot of things with a political science degree, where she's going to get a master's in art history. And finally, on my count is Zach Fisher, who will be going to law school in the fall. Congratulations to all.
Great, thank you, Professor Wright. So many exciting different paths that our graduates are taking. I'd like to introduce now Professor Jason Wu. He's one of our newer assistant professors studying our research in comparative politics, focusing on Chinese politics.
Hi, everyone. It's my pleasure to congratulate Justin Fletterman, as well as Noelle Friel and Jocelyn Furr, who is graduating with another major in geology, a minor in math, and was part of our IPOP program in political science. Jocelyn is going to continue with a PhD program. She plans to study political methodology at the University of Rochester. We also have, please join me in congratulating Joey Garlock and George Gogos, as well as Reed Goldstein, who is planning to move to Denver to become a civil rights lawyer. Next, we have Cassidy Grangier, who also majored in history and received a certificate at the program in political and civic engagement, or PACE. Cassidy hopes to work for the government or for a nonprofit after graduating. We also have Seth Green graduating this year. He minored in international studies and law and public policy, and he hopes to go to law school. He hopes to do this without incurring any debt, and so possibly this might happen through the military, but Seth is open to other opportunities. So if you have any ideas, be sure to let him know. We also have Elijah Harter and Hannah Hartman. Both of them are graduating this year. Hannah is a philosophy major in addition to a political science major, and she also has a minor in American Studies. Next is Sophia Hay. Sophia is graduating with a PACE certificate and a minor in sociology. Please also congratulate Erica Helding, and finally Stephen Henderson.
Thank you so much, Professor Wu. Next, I'd like to introduce one of my senior colleagues, Professor Ted Carmines, another expert in American politics.
Lauren, you're muted.
Professor Carmines, can you unmute and read the names of the graduates that you have? If not, we can pass that over to Jess.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you now.
Okay, great.
I think yours starts with Adam Herkey, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, great.
All right. So congratulations to all of our wonderful graduates. It was great to have you in class, and we're thrilled both with your graduation, and we particularly want to recognize your families who have been so instrumental in your education and everything they've done for you. They deserve a great round of applause from all of us, not just the students, but their families who've been so crucial to your success. So let me read these names very quickly. Adam Herkey, Max Herman, and Max will be attending law school, and he's a history and political science double major. Abby Herfey, Gabriel Hedrick, Noah Hines, Andrew Holland, Jonah Hyatt, Brenner Illy, Emily Heisman, and Emily is also a journalism major, and she will be working as an education reporter in the Monesco Bee, a daily paper in California. And Matt Janetz, Luke Jolly, Miranda Kemp, and Joshua Konenberg. Congratulations to all of you who well deserve our recognition.
Thank you so much, Professor Carmines. I don't know if everyone could see, some of our students seem like they have big groups of people who are really cheering them on, and this is exactly what I mean. We have great networks right here in the political science department. I'd like to introduce my colleague, Professor Tim Helwig, who specializes in comparative politics, especially European politics.
Thanks, Professor McLean. Good to see everybody. Congratulations to all. This is one of my more favorite parts of my job, getting to see all these graduates each and every year. It's kind of a reinvigorating experience for us old timers to do this. But I'd like to congratulate a set of folks here. First is Haley Kotzer. Next, we have Rachel Lipovsky, and I've enjoyed working with Rachel this year on our DEIJ committee, and so congrats to her. Cameron Livingston, James Markwith, Kaylee Marshall, Ariana Martin, and Ariana also has another major in African American and African diaspora studies, and her plans are to go to law school. So congrats to Ariana. Dakota Matthews, Shane Patrick McDonald. Shane is moving to Washington, D.C. to work at Grant Thornton in their public sector after graduation. Congrats. Our next is Alyssa Perry Miller. Alyssa has minors in history and information systems along with the political science major. Her plans are to work in local government after graduation. Congrats. Chris Miller. Chris is currently teaching at the University of Richmond, Virginia, and looks forward to building a career there. Congrats to Chris. Alyssa Miller is the next. Jithankshi Maranhat Raj. Hope to work for some time and then pursue my master's. Good plan. Eric Neri. And the final on my list is Justin Patrick Newey, who plans to pursue a career in the military. Congratulations to all.
Thank you, Professor Helwig. Next, we have Professor Dina Speckler, who is an expert in international relations, especially foreign policy, with a recent book on Russian foreign policy.
Thank you, Lauren, and welcome everyone. It's really a great pleasure to be here to see many of you. I've had the honor of teaching. Many of you I have not, but I'm very proud of all of you and very excited and interested to learn about all these wonderful things you're going to be doing very soon. So I'd like to read the names of a group of graduates: Nancy Nee, Evan North, William David Papit, who has majored in folklore and ethnomusicology as well as political science. And he is going to try to save enough money to travel overseas sometime next year. Good luck. Kate Petrie, who plans to attend law school at Loyola University in Chicago. Corby Duane Petro, who has been majoring not only in political science, but in history and international studies. And he plans to use his education to affect positive change in his community and in the nation. And I'm sure you will. Good luck. Tess Plazek is a minor in sociology, plans to stay in Bloomington after graduation to work at Wonderlab, the Children's Museum of Science, Health, and Technology. Jairo Procopio, who has been not only a political science, but an economics major and a major in finance, marketing, and also has minors in finance, marketing, and business. And Jairo is going to Sao Paulo in Brazil to work at the largest investment bank in Latin America. Wonderful. Desmond Rader, who has minored in communication and public advocacy. And following graduation, he will begin his master's program in health administration starting in the fall, along with continuing his military service as a paralegal sergeant. Quite a lot on his plate. Allison Rieger, Mateo Rodriguez, Michaela Russell. Michaela is commissioning into the Air Force when she graduates as a second lieutenant. Maximilian Sandifer, who is minored in communication and public advocacy, as well as Spanish, and plans to go into political campaign work after graduating and fight for the progressive values that he holds near and dear to his heart. And finally on my list is Kai Sandstrom. And with that, I turn the proceedings over or back to Professor McLean.
Thank you, Professor Speckler. Next, I want to introduce Professor Jacek Dalecki. Professor Dalecki teaches some of the largest classes in our department, so he has a very good chance that he's had you before.
Thank you, Lauren, and thank you all. My warmest congratulations to Emma Schuler, Mesa Sabri, and Tanner Christian Shapiro. By the way, Tanner, in addition to major in political science, also minor in criminal justice, hoping to become a criminal defense attorney. Tanner is likely to stick around here in the one and only Bloomington, attending Maurer School of Law. Congratulations to Jack Shapiro and Ashley Sherwood. Speaking of Ashley, by the way, Ashley is a double major in political science and economics and a minor in psychology. Ashley is planning to attend McKinley School of Law in Indianapolis, the birthplace of Kurt Vonnegut. Congrats to Luke Martin Schimek, who is currently working in the video game industry. He's hoping to find a peaceful home in the academia down the road. Our speaker, congratulations to Mahira Siddiqui, who also minored in international studies. By the way, now is a part of the master's program at American University, studying international peace and conflict resolution. Also, congrats to Abigail Seaman, Andrew Silk, and Jana Smith, a linguistics major, by the way, in addition to political science and German minor, also hoping to continue studies in law school. James H. Stesh, who will be leaving this beautiful campus with a PACE certificate, as well as 2 minors in economics and American studies. He will be heading to the Golden State attending grad school at the UCLA. Last but not least, Jake Stephan and Nicholas Stevens. Congrats and the very best of luck to all of you guys.
Thank you, Professor Delecki. Next, I want to introduce Justina Zajac, who we are very fortunate to have half of her time here in political science, and then she also splits the rest of her teaching time in international studies.
Thank you very much, Professor McLean, and hello everyone. I'm very pleased to be with you today to celebrate your graduation. And it's my pleasure to read some names, starting with Juhmar Stewart. And Juhmar, he is, in addition to political science major, also Spanish minor, Latino studies minor, Black cinema and media studies minor. And Juhmar is intends to maintain happiness in whatever way it presents itself. Sunny Straw, then Kelsey Strigul. Casey is also a history major, and she will be attending graduate school this fall at Leiden University in the Netherlands, and she will be studying Masters in International and European Governance. Kendall Swift, then Cole Tapia Guilar, Sira Catherine Theo-Harris, and Sira is also major in history and minor in social welfare advocacy. Sira is planning on a career in either public service or social welfare. I want to also congratulate Tandar Tet, Everett Tidebach, Katrin Timperman, Alessandro Tomic, Hailey Trecarici, Tyler Trullock, and last but not least, also my congratulations to Taimun van der Maas. And Taimun is interdepartmental major in political science and philosophy, and also business major in entrepreneurship. And Timan will be studying a master's philosophy at the Catholic University of Leuven and doing volunteer work while he figures out his future life plans. So my congratulations to all of you and very good luck in the future.
Thank you, Professor Zajac. Last but not least, we have Professor Will Weinkoff, who specializes in international relations, particularly the international political economy.
Thank you very much, Professor McLean. And I am happy to have the final group here as someone whose last name begins with W. I know how horrible it can be to have to wait until the very end when your name is called. So I'm right there with you all. The first person that I would like to recognize is Alyssa Velez. She also majored in journalism with a concentration in public relations. After graduation, she will be interning with the nonprofit Women for Change and hopes to have a long career working with nonprofits in the future. Also graduating is Bailey Weidenhammer, Delaney Winos, Brianna Williams, Cam Wilson, who will be moving on to be a clinical specialist at Cook Medical, Anthony Whisker, who is intending to go to law school after graduation, David Wren Harden, Ashley Yamick, who also minored in global media and will be attending the College of Law at the University of Illinois, Emily Young, Landon Zachary, and Jacqueline Zarate.
So thank you, Will. I wanted to just give one big, if everybody could unmute and give one big round of applause for all of our graduates in the class of 2021.
Yay! Congratulations! Yay!
It is so funny. I love her.
Congratulations! Go Jamar! Go Jamar! Go graduates!
So we don't get to unmute enough, I think. I want to make sure that there wasn't any graduate who's here today whose name didn't get read. I want to just be sure if anybody can put it in the chat, or want to make sure we included everybody. What a fabulous, fabulous celebration. Thank you to all of the faculty, staff, students, family, friends who have participated. I think you see several more of our faculty in their puffy hats who have been here with us today. So we really appreciate all of your participation. It looks like many of our students have some very excited friends and family who are here really cheering them on. As we close, I want to say that we have a special treat for those who wish to stay a little longer. Our celebration is usually almost 2 hours long when you think of all the getting up and down and the walking and how long it takes. So this was incredibly fast for a Department of Political Science graduation. But if you want more, we've also invited all of our graduating seniors, if they wish, to send in a personalized video. So a small handful have sent in some videos that are really touching, where they share some of their memories and thank the people who are important to them. So those videos will scroll at the close of the ceremony. Feel free to watch them now, or this whole session is being recorded. And so we will be sending out a link to that full recording early next week. So you can share those with others who weren't able to attend, or watch anything over later. So I just want to close by saying that we in the department want you to know that we are always here, and we hope you will stay in touch. We are really eager to hear about all of your next adventures, so please do keep us posted. Send us highlights that we can post on our blog. We have an alumni highlights section, and we always feature alumni in our regular newsletters. We'd love to brag about you on social media. So we can't wait to see where you go next. Congratulations to the class of 2021. Oh, and I think they put in the chat all of our alumni Facebook groups, so make sure you join. So congratulations to everyone. It was great to see everybody. I think it'll just take a minute for Jess to share her screen and start the video. So.
Sorry, I am working on getting the video to go. Give me just a second. I apologize. I am not sure how to get this video to share. I thought it would just be there like they usually are. So I'm really sorry, everyone. I don't want to waste any more of your time, but I will be sending that out if that works. That way everybody can see it.
So we'll just send out the video with the special tributes from the individual students either as a separate link or so we'll send that through the email to the students. So parents, make sure that those students forward that to you. It's very difficult for us with all of the privacy laws for us to get in contact. So we'll make sure that we can get that to you. Thanks again. I'll hang on if anybody wants to talk. That's what I usually do after these graduations, is hang around and shake hands and talk about students and kids. And so I'll be here until people are all leaving, but it was very nice to see you. I think we had over 80 people here at one point.
Yeah, I saw 85. That was a really good turnout. Thanks everybody for showing up, and congratulations, graduates.
Hopefully our last Zoom event.
The last one that will be forced to be Zoom. I think we'll still use Zoom on occasion to bring people in, you know, from far away that we may not be able to kind of increase the accessibility.
Well put, yeah.
But we will definitely look forward to being able to meet face-to-face. I taught a hybrid class where I was in person on Mondays and on Zoom on Wednesdays. And I'll tell you that the Mondays, it was just a lot more fun.
I'm exhausted.
I'm disappointed that you didn't talk about barbarians today.
No, it's the barbarians are everywhere. We talk about the good things.
Only the good things today, because we're graduating.
Yeah, it's a great moment for you. So yeah, we have to worry about the barbarians, but not today.
Trying to keep it positive, right, Aurelian?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a great day in Bloomington. Alessandro, where are you? Are you in Washington or where?
Yes, yeah, I am. I wanted to come to the graduation ceremony, but it's a 10-hour drive, and I didn't think it was worth it.
Yeah, it's
just for one day.
It's it did take place, but in a kind of confined environment.
Yeah. So this was nice. Yeah, thank you everybody.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah. Thank you all.
Yeah, and keep in touch, Alessandro, okay?
Absolutely, yeah. I'll send you.
I like to hear, you know, periodically from you and what you've done and what you plan to do.
Absolutely. Thank you, Professor.
Take care.
Bye.
Justina, you pronounced Tayman's name in a very original way.
I didn't know. How was the pronunciation?
It's the most difficult name to pronounce.
Yeah, it is.
I had no idea. I had Tayman.
Tayman, okay.
Tayman completed an honor thesis. So at the end of 1 year, I learned how to pronounce his name, but I was so intimidated at the beginning that I would avoid altogether.
Yeah, those names sometimes are very difficult. That's true.
Yeah, we had 6 students who completed honor thesis this year. Lauren David was one of them. Tayman was another one. Ashley Yarnick, Chase Irwin, Alyssa Miller, and there was one more. Jack Stefan. Yeah, so that was a good group, and they're on to pursuing nice careers, and I'm very proud of them.
Yeah, and I'm also pleased to see that some students are going to study in Europe. I see that one like in the Netherlands, the other.
My name is Cameron DeWitt. First off, I would like to thank my parents, Evan and Tammy, for all they've done my whole life and getting me to where I am today. Also, my grandparents who have been tremendously supportive. Lastly, I would like to thank all the professors in the political science department who have made for such a beneficial experience after switching my major. I don't have a specific favorite memory here at IU, But overall, I've enjoyed spending time with friends and meeting all the new and wonderful people. Thank you all for listening. Congratulations, everyone.
Hi, my name is Sugar Fane, and I cannot believe that we've already made it to graduation. I would like to thank my professors and my peers for making the past 4 years so enjoyable, but more importantly, I would like to thank my parents and my friends, because without them, this year would have been so much harder without their love and support. So thank you. Congrats, everyone.
Hi, my name is Noelle Friel. There are 3 political science graduates from IU in my family: my dad, my older brother Nicholas, and now me. I'm also studying broadcast journalism in Spanish, and after graduation, I'll be working as a reporter at NBC 26 in Green Bay. And 2 people that I really want to thank are my parents. Mom and Dad, thank you so much for being there for me every step of the way, for putting me through college, for always supporting me in my reporting, and I love you so much with all my heart.
Hi, my name is Ari Martin, short for Ariana Martin. People that I would love to thank is definitely God for giving me the opportunity to attend Indiana University. I would also love to thank my mother for raising me and being my best friend and my support system throughout this entire journey. I would love to thank my grandmother, my siblings, my father, my church family, and literally anybody that has supported me, including my friends, people in my scholarship, anybody that's helped me get through this course. I thoroughly appreciate you. My favorite memory of IU would definitely be being a group scholar. That summer was amazing. I also really enjoyed starting Legacy, IU's first student-ran STEP team, and I also thoroughly enjoyed my academic success of being on the Dean's List. Because of this, I got to join Chi Alpha, and I also got to join Pi Sigma. Thank you all so much for having me as a scholar, and I'm so happy that I get to become a graduate of Indiana University. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tess Plazik, and my favorite memory as a part of political science here at IU would be having the opportunity to live in Washington, D.C. and intern at the Smithsonian as a part of the IU Pulse D.C. program. I would have to thank Professor Barber for creating the program, for her passion for political science, and for opening up the door for all of us to gain an unforgettable opportunity. Thank you, Professor Barber, and congratulations, class of 2021.
Hi there, my name is Maximilian Sandifer. It's pretty surreal that I'm graduating right now, and there's definitely many people I want to thank. First off, I want to thank all of my close friends, whether they're inside or outside of the classroom. They have been an absolute just support system for me through in and throughout. Whether it was, getting through the hard times or triumphing throughout all the victories, they've just been a wonderful support system for me. I'd also love to thank my parents, mom and dad. Love you so much. Thank you so much for helping me pursue my passions and being so supportive of me and always checking on me to make sure that I'm doing well. I love you guys so much, and I really appreciate all the help that you've been throughout this college experience. And finally, I'd love to thank my boyfriend, AJ. AJ, I love you so much. You have been an absolute rock for me for these past 2 years, and I'm just so excited to explore the world with you, make this journey together throughout my whole career path forward, and I just love you so much, and I'm just so excited for the future ahead, and I'm so thankful for all of you guys for being there for me.
Hi everyone, my name is Ashley Sherwood. I just want to start off by saying thank you to my parents for giving me this opportunity and for all of their support throughout my journey. I also want to thank my friends who have made my time here at IU nothing short of amazing, and they have truly made Bloomington feel like home to me. Also, thank you to the professors who have gone above and beyond to prepare me and ensure that I succeed in my future career. I would say that one of my favorite memories from IU is definitely attending the football games at Memorial Stadium. The energy of the crowd is so amazing and something that is so exciting to be a part of. It is definitely something that I will always remember. I am once again just so grateful to have been given this opportunity, and I could not have imagined a better place to spend the past 4 years. Bloomington and the IU community have truly shaped me into who I am today. I will never be able to thank my parents enough for everything that they have given me and for all of their support. I am so excited to continue my career and my education at McKinney School of Law in Indianapolis.
Go.
Hi, Sarah Theo Harris here. I just want to thank my parents, my brother, the rest of my friends and family, and a special shout out to Professor Barber and the IU Pulls DC program. Easily the best experience I had at IU, and I can't thank her enough for giving me that opportunity. Thanks.
I want to say thank you to everybody who has made the past 4 years what it has been. Thank you to my family and to my friends, especially a thank you to my parents for supporting me, but to everybody who's been here with me throughout what have been 4 of the most formative years of my life. There have been some tough times, there have been some great times, but each one of them has changed who I am. And at the start of these 4 years, I could never have foreseen who I would be and what my life will be like. But I know that I'm going to carry IU with me for the rest of my life, and I'm proud to be a Hoosier. And I just want to say thank you again and the best of luck to everybody who's going to continue making this community what it is.
My name is Cam Wilson. I'd like to thank my mom, my grandma, my brother, my sister, really all my family for the support they've given me to get to this point. My favorite memory since I've been at IU is probably beating Penn State. Congratulations, you guys, and good luck moving forward.